So I feel like you're working very hard to avoid petty arguments with family, with your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend. You're trying really, really hard just to, either change the subject if there's a hot button topic that's mentioned, or, anything you can do to kind of keep the peace, because maybe you feel there's been too much of that. Or maybe someone said, sometimes you say things too bluntly and you hurt my feelings, Scorpio. Sometimes that happens. You're very honest, but sometimes to the point that you wound other people with what you say. And the reason behind that is, like, you can take it, and you would actually rather people just be that bluntly honest with you, but not everybody wants that. They do want the truth, I think, most people, but they want it in a more palatable way than sometimes you deliver it. So maybe someone's spoken to you about that. I do think that came up recently for you, Scorpio. And so you're trying very hard to keep the peace, not starting any little petty arguments. If you see things kind of deteriorating into that place, you will try to kind of nip it in the bud. And, because your ultimate goal is you want everybody to support each other, be together. You want to have the kind of family life maybe that you never had. So with your spouse, with your kids, with your home, you want everybody to be, supportive of each other, and to avoid, fighting and arguing and, mock battles, which is what the Five of Rods is. So that's actually good to have as a focus, because it's not that big of a deal. It's not a major arcana. It's not like the death card or anything like that. So I feel like you'll be able to, to do that, especially if you're vigilant about it. And I feel that you are, trying very hard. And it may be hard for you to do that, but I think the end result's going to be worth it, Scorpio. Now we've also got the Knight of Cups here. Now, for many of you, this could be you. This is a water sign male. So, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. I feel like, if you could be delivering news in July. You could have some really exciting news because this is a cup. It could be about something, more personal or more emotional, like maybe you're going to be having a baby if you're a woman, because this can be a woman in these general readings. He's coming up as a knight. Or maybe you've met someone, if you're a female, Scorpio, maybe you've met someone new. You've formed an emotional attachment. You've formed a relationship with this person. Some of you, Scorpio, maybe, getting in touch with someone. Someone that you feel was a missed opportunity. Like, I didn't handle that right. I really need to apologize to this person, or I really need to kind of get back in touch with this person. And this may be something that you've known that you should have done for a long time, but you kept putting it off. Because you were always like, oh, well, now's not a good time, or maybe a later time would be better. And the thing is that there's never like a perfect time to apologize. It's just, that's more you justifying it to yourself so that you can put it off. If you owe someone an apology, I actually feel like it will be well received in July. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage to apologize to someone for something that we did. And even if it was just a silly argument. So, yeah, you may be apologizing to your mate. If you're one of these guys that is like, I never apologize. Well, that sucks. Because you are wrong sometimes too. Let's face it, a lot of times. So, you'd be surprised at how much admitting that, how far that would go. The only thing that, you're not losing anything by that. You're gaining, again, a house that's calm, a house that's free from petty strife. Only a child has that sort of immature attitude. I'm not going to admit I was wrong. We all make mistakes, and we're all wrong in the way that we treat people sometimes. Every single person on this planet. If you don't make a habit of it, and as long as you're not going out of your way doing that on purpose, there's no reason you can't admit, okay, yeah, that wasn't the wisest decision, or I shouldn't have said that, or, I shouldn't have said that in that way. I'm going to try to be more thoughtful about that. I'm going to try to be more considerate. You know, if you're in a relationship with anybody, it doesn't have to be a marriage. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but in our relationships with everyone, our friends, our family, you know, we can't just go around, you know, trying to hurt people or saying things in a way that will wound them, or we're not going to have people wanting to be around us very long. So yeah, some of you may have to be mindful of that. But some of you may be reconnecting or reaching out. This could have been someone from long ago. You know, for some of you, it will have happened last week, and it was something you said to your spouse, or something you said to you know, a sibling or a friend, or a coworker even, and you have to apologize about the way you handled something. Others of you, this could be a message coming to you from someone who wanted to apologize. With the Knight, I mean, normally the cap on the age group for this person would be later 20s. Once you get into 30s and 40s, that's more of like a king. But if it's someone who behaves kind of immature or speaks before he or she thinks, sometimes it could be. It could be, you know, an older person acting like a younger person. But yeah, the message could be coming to you. Maybe somebody who feels that they, you know, should have apologized a long time ago, or they've just been thinking about the past and they're feeling bad about things they said or did, and they're wanting to reach out to you and let you know that, you know, they're sorry about what they said or did. So apologies seem to be connected to ending the strife or ending the mock battles or the silly arguments, whether recent or distant past, or even if they crop up in July. Have I'm sorry ready. Have your I'm sorry card ready to whip out, and be ready to receive, you know, apologies, Scorpio. You might want to think about how you would receive that. Would I even respond? You know, and for some of you, if you're the one reaching out, there may be a bit of a delay, and it may just be because the other person is surprised. Maybe they thought they'd never hear from you again. Maybe they don't know. They don't know how to respond. They need some time to think about it. That's okay. And I think for many of you, if it's a past thing, it seems like this may go on the internet because the rune of the internet is here, but it's on its side. So that'll just be for some of you. You'll be reaching out over the internet to apologize to someone. Now, the help that's going to be available to you, we have a fantastic card, the Sun card. So this is all about recognition, promotion, graduation, moving to the next level, and being very excited about it. Lots of associations with children and birth as well, pregnancy. Whether you're male or female, just because you can't have a baby doesn't mean you can't get someone pregnant. Hello, it applies to you too. And actually the rune of a masculine energy is coming up next to this. So yeah, but with the Sun card, this is joyous. So I feel like mostly if you're a male Scorpio, this is something you would be quite happy about. This is something you've been trying to do. You've been trying to, you know, have a baby, start a family, or continue your family if you already have children. So yeah, there's a rebirth here, a new beginning, a new level, and promotion, rewards, something that you've worked very hard for, Scorpio, or put a lot of effort into, either career-wise, study-wise, anything that you've put a lot of energy into, you know, getting someone pregnant. Getting pregnant if you're a female Scorpio, yeah. You may find out in July that, you know, you're getting it, or you may even get the promotion, get the raise, get the recognition, get the award. Some of you may be winning a competition, because this rune has a lot of associations with competition, active playing in games and things like that. So the Olympics comes to mind, and that came to mind for Pisces as well. If you are participating in the Olympics, you know, you may place, Scorpio, in whatever your event is. So, and I know there's more of you out there watching. So yeah, I mean, I feel like you really have put a lot of training into this, a lot of work. So if you're competing in the Olympics and you place and win, please give me some feedback on that. Please post up and let me know. Or any other sport for that matter, because that's the first thing I think of when I see this rune is sports and competition and, you know, winning, coming out on top or placing. So please do let me know. You don't have to put your real name. You can, you know, make up a fake name, but I would love the feedback just to know like how many people got the raise, got the promotion, got the gold. You know, there's definitely an achievement and recognition for all the effort and time and work that you've put into something, Scorpio. So congratulations, however it works out for you. Now, what must be accepted about July, we've got Two of Pentacles next to Bjork, which is another rune of fertility and birth and babies and pregnancy. So yeah, many of you are going to find out you're having a baby, you know, or you're going to be a mother, you're going to be a father in July. Some of you may be giving birth in July. And if you are, I do feel that everything is going to go quite well. There may be a delay. So if you have a date, the baby may come later, maybe a bit overdue, that sort of thing. They may have to kind of get things going, induce or something like that, because there may be some sort of a delay here. But, you know, I do feel like everything's going to go pretty well here as far as the birth itself. Now, Two of Pentacles talks about being able to balance more than one occupation, more than one job, maybe going to work, but also studying, going to school, working full-time, but also having a family. In July, you're going to be doing really well at that. And, you know, again, I think maybe it goes back to, you know, putting more work and time and attention into your family life and how everybody's interacting with each other. And, you know, maybe kind of like cutting some time at work to spend more time with family, or at least when you're there, spending quality time with your family. So for many of you, it is having to do with motherhood and spending that quality time with your kids, and but also, you know, balancing the work and the home life. Some of you could have been balancing work and school, and you complete it. And maybe in July, it's the first month that you know, or finally there's a new beginning. You no longer have to juggle those two things. You no longer have to kind of, you know, be short for time here. Finances, if they've been kind of a sticky wicket, if they've been kind of turbulent, things will be on solid footing in July. Better for you, maybe due to a promotion and a raise coming in. So you're going to notice there's a new beginning when it comes to finances. Also, maybe a new beginning with a financial partnership, whether this is someone who is helping you with your business, like an accountant or a lawyer, a business lawyer, or if it is a new employee, or if you are starting a new job and working with someone or a new group of people. But yeah, there is a new beginning when it comes to partnership, for sure, especially in the financial sense. And then we do have Judgment here in the reverse. So there may be by the end of July still one decision that you or someone else made that you feel was you know, the wrong decision. Something you feel isn't fair. Someone has not used their wisdom. Or you may feel that someone has been overly critical or harsh in some way. Again, this may be you, Scorpio. Someone may be, you know, telling you maybe you are being too critical. You're being too hard on someone. You're being too hard on one of the kids. You're being too hard on this person. You're being too critical. There could be something like that comes up, again, around home, family, the past. You know, this person that reconnects with you or that you reconnect with to apologize, they may be kind of like, what, you know, the things you said to me were so awful. Or you may be saying that to this person. Again, these energies always work both ways with so many people. You're going to be on one or the other side of that coin. But, you know, I do feel like whatever the situation, whether it is with family, whether it is dealing with someone from the past that you've kind of reconnected with, there's going to be a steady progression to this. Like it's not going to be overnight. This is something kind of that you have to build. Like, just like whatever this is that you have worked so hard for, that you achieve in in July, Scorpio. Whatever you've put into this, you know, this relationship is going to require, you know, you're kind of starting at the beginning or restarting something, and that's going to take some time and effort and etc. to get it where it needs to be. So it won't happen immediately, but it's going to be worth the work and the effort, I feel. Some of you may be working on a house or purchasing a home, because we do have real estate on the table, real estate, property. So that may be for some of you the achievement, the success that you're getting here. You finally get a home, you find the right place to move to, find a place to live. And yeah, for July, going back to this Two of Pentacles, some of you may be between two places. Like, it's like we have our new place, but we have to stay here until the lease is up, or we have to stay here until we sell this place. So you may have two mortgages, or rent and a mortgage, whatever you've got going on in July, Scorpio. You're going to be able to balance it out financially, since the Two of Pentacles is here. If it was in reverse, that would be another story. But because it's upright, you know, that may be, might have to tighten your belt a little bit, but you'll be able to balance all of that out.